What's going on, everyone? So today I'm excited. This is a different kind of video for me. I'm going to show you how I move and reset up my kit. I'm just not happy that it's not centered in any of my videos in the room and that it's kind of my OCD kicking in. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to take this thing apart, we're going to clean it up, and we're going to move it. So first, look at this nest of cables. When I first started doing videos, I didn't know what to do. And all of these cables are 20-foot cables. No matter how close to that snake the microphone may be, I ran a 20-foot cable to it. So these cables are just way too long. So we're going to go ahead, of course. We're going to start by removing this drum kit, and then we're going to clean everything up. So I got to get all these drums out of the way, pull them all off, move the microphones, move the cymbals, and look at this mess. And this is with me cleaning on a regular basis, but you just can't get it all. But look at that rat nest. I am so glad you guys never had to see that in my videos because they were buried in the corner. But once we move this out, you're going to be able to see everything. So here I just got all my stuff out of the way. We're going to go ahead and move this carpet over and start vacuuming. The vacuum does a pretty good job, but not the best. But I saw this really cool TikTok video that I thought I would try. The guy took like an orbital sander and used the vibration to try to bring up all the dirt. So I used my oscillating tool and my shop vac, and it actually did a really good job. The only problem is the stick shavings tend to really stick into carpet versus just dirt that would, vibrate up like they did in the video. So once I get that all cleaned up, I have to undo all these cables from the snake and just kind of clean everything up and get that rug nice and centered to where I want it in the room. So you can see my tape measure. And then I always start with the three basics. The three basics: my throne height, my snare drum, the bass drum, and then the hi-hat. If you can't get those three into the most comfortable ergonomic position, the rest of it doesn't matter. From there, then I put my floor toms in, and I haven't put my high tom on yet because, well, look, we're gonna try something new. We're gonna pull out this rack. Now, where did this rack come from? It's from my old orange PDP X7 monster kit. I miss that kit. I kind of wish I didn't sell it. My girls also miss that kit and yell at me for selling it. But I kept the rack. We got to take this 12-inch tom apart because it's set up for a snare basket. I took the mount off of it. But to put this on the rack, now we have to put the mount back on. So here we are putting the mount back on so that we can mount this onto the rack. It's a really nice rack, but it might be overkill for this kit. But we'll find out. So let's go ahead and get that on, get it comfortable. Now I got all my toms, my floor toms, and my snare drum. Let's take a look, see how it looks. Yep, that's a drum. And there's two more drums. Yep, the snare drum. Yep, that's it. No, it's not so bad. Now I just gotta mount all the cymbals, but there's all the drums. 3 floor toms, 1 high tom. I like that setup. It's a nice setup. Alright, so the first cymbal that you gotta get, your ride cymbal. Now this is where it gets tricky because it's a 24-inch big behemoth of a cymbal. I absolutely love it though. But it takes up way more room than I expected. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. So you know what? Let's take it all down and try again. Now I've got a stand here. Don't like the stand. Nope. Let's put the basket back on. So we're back to the basket. You know what that means? I'm not even going to take apart any of these stands. I'm just going to clean them down and set them up. Oh, and look, I got a couple little helpers. Nope, just kidding. They didn't want to help Dad clean. So they left. So here's my cymbals, but guess what? I forgot the remote hi-hat. Which means you gotta pull all these things off anyway. So you gotta move everything, get that remote hi-hat in there, then put everything back in place. Now I like everything arm distance so I can touch my cymbals with just my fingertips. So if you see me sticking my arms out, that's how I measure the distance. And then I use the tape measure to try to get the heights all matching. Now that that's all done, we got to clean up the mess from the rack. I took all the hardware, the memory clamps off, and then we're going to clean up some of those cables. And this is cool. So that's my list. I list out all of my channels, and then here are my new cables. So I bought some 3 foot, 5 foot, 7 foot, 10, 15, and of course no 20s because I got lots of those. And what I'm going to do is each drum I've already predetermined where they're going to go into my snake. So there's my snake. It's going to be there in the open, so you'll be able to see it. So I want to make sure that it looks its nicest. So I'm going to go from shortest to longest, left to right in distance of cable to get this kit mic'd up as best as I can. So here we're taking our 3s, and we're going to start with like my snare drum, my 14-inch floor tom. Then we're going to do the hi-hats, the snare drum. Then we're going to over to the bass drum, and then we're going to keep going over to the other hi-hat cymbals and the ride cymbal, the floor toms, and then eventually we're going to put my overheads on, make sure that those are even, make all the adjustments, and that is pretty much it for that. It turned out really awesome. What do you guys think? Take a look. Here's the finished product. I also used some cable ties, and I nicely bundled up all the cables so that they go into the snake nice and clean. I think it turned out really well. 16 channels. It's going into my Behringer XR18, but it's a nice setup. I'm just learning as I go, so don't yell at me. It's not a professional studio. I just do this for fun. It's a hobby. But in the comments, let me know what you think down below. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all of your help, your support, and your feedback. So anything you want to tell me, let me know. I'll respond, good or bad. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.